Ladies, today I'm going to tell you once and for all, your sole purpose in this life is not just to get married. In this life, we've got so many things that have been given not only a duty to us, but things that come naturally to us. So for women, it's raising children, giving birth, raising a children, having a home. For men, it is protection and the whole moving forward of a family unit and the growth of that family unit, maybe they financially, mentally, emotionally, even geographically. But just because things are naturally intertwined in our system to do, we need to be very careful how those natural instincts have been used as a form of manipulation to keep us in a box. Now, I'm going to give you an example of that. When you're a very small girl in a South Asian household, they are talking about weddings and setting up home and ghar basana aur ye karna aur wo karna, and ever since you're little, it's drilled into your brain that this is my purpose in life. This is it. And the contradictory behavior of some people don't let their daughter study at all, or the ones that let them study, as soon as marriage comes in a prospect, they're like, oh, you don't need the education anymore, leave it. But isn't that so damaging to the goal you're giving to the girls? Because at the end of the day, we are not here to make babies with no purpose. We are here to make babies with a purpose. As Muslims, we should have enough capacity and brain power to provide our children with not only the social education, the academic education, the spiritual education, but also the understanding of the encapsulation of all of these things and directing them in where they're going in life. And an uneducated woman with low self-esteem is only gonna make more uneducated and cowardice children. And when people hear uneducated, they're like, oh, degree. There's so many different ways of being uneducated. I know people that have money and they're the most jahil people. I also know people that have a very high education, but their social skills are literally zero. Like they don't have that ability to communicate with people properly. So ladies, your meaning as a South Asian woman is not to get married, give birth, and have babies, just keep pushing them out with no plan and understanding of what are you going to do with them on this planet Earth. Because most people I speak to, and it's such a regular theme, they're like, I just want my kids to be happy. Do you think the Sahabiyats' wives used to raise their children to be happy? Or did they raise them to push forward the deen of Islam? Being happy is icing on the cake. How many of you have pursued happiness endlessly, like literally lost your mind trying to pursue it, and wo kabhi haath nahi aaya? Because happiness isn't a goal, it's a consequence. Happiness is a consequence of living your life in alignment with what you believe, what you know to be true. We are so tormented in our community that we are now focusing on, I just want to be happy because the trauma is too much. To the parents out there that may be pushing your daughter towards a marriage early, or she doesn't want, or maybe she wants to expand her mind at the same time as all those things. You guys need to be supporting the girls, because we are, as the women, are raising the next generation. If men are out there working and providing, who is telling the children how to conduct themselves? Who is telling them how the world works? Who tells them what's right and wrong? Who explains to them when they come home with certain opinions from hearing it from strangers? Who sorts their mindset out and puts them on the right track to ensure that they remember that they are Muslims and there's certain things in this Western world we do not follow? Do you know how many people I've seen videos on as Muslims? They're like, yeah, I manifest my success. Tawbah, astaghfirullah, a'udhu billah. Even I was into all of that. We don't manifest. We make dua and we put our frequency in alignment. And the universe, which is Allah, gives that to us when we are in the right place to receive it. So when you are not in the right place to receive these things, such as marriage and children, because you don't have the right level of understanding in your mind. When they say, oh, people should get married young. Yes, because in the day of our Sahabiyats, 14, 15-year-olds were leading communities. People before the age of 25 were leading armies and telling their parents about deen and bringing them on the right track. What 14, 15-year-old do you know that can do that? Are you raising 14 and 15-year-olds that have the confidence and the intelligence and the self-esteem to communicate these things to the world? Please don't rush into trying to make a little family of your own because that's what you saw in a TV show, and you'll go on picnics every weekend and forever you will be living in romance, because that is not the reality of life. Women out here are just popping out kids because they're like, well, I'm married and we did it and they happened. That is not a responsible adult on this earth. Have children with purpose, that you are going to guide them and you're going to grow them into children that contribute to this ummah. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm ashamed of myself that I'm sitting here right now in the luxury of my home with a car to drive, food to eat, money in my bank, family to see, everybody safe and sound, while our fellow people in this world are dying of poverty and distress. Why? Because our direct opponents are focused in what they do in life. They're focused when they have children for a purpose. They're like, you're going to go in politics and you're going to move our society forward. It's not about forcing children. It's about giving them direction from the age 0, because you have the most influence on them as mothers. So if you are blindly just having children because the society told you to just keep reproducing for no reason, please, ladies, be aware that the responsibility you have once you bring a human onto this earth is huge. And my mother is the person who taught me that lesson. My mother raised me in such a soldier type environment that she got criticism from the family. My mum made me go out and get work. My mum made me ensure I knew how to cook a proper traditional meals. I knew how to change a bed. I knew how to disinfect my home. I knew how to keep everything spick and span. I knew how to treat guests when they come to my house. But I also knew how to establish my etiquette in public. How to ensure that I'm in the business world, in the academic world, but I'm also in the family space. How to manage life with a balance and equality. I was on the phone at 15 years old, 14, 15 years old, paying the gas bill to British Gas. My mum gave me the bill. She said, here's the card, here's the number, pay the bill and know the process of how to pay the bill. And I was the one, when I went to university, even though I went late, I was surrounded by these young people who were 18, 19, and they were struggling how to use a bedsheet. They didn't know how to handle conflict with people in the house that were leaving dishes and stuff around. So having kids is not the South Asian version of just pop them out because you've got a ring on your finger now or you're in nikah. Having children for a Muslimah is a whole other world of responsibility, because you don't want to release cheating, lying, drug dealing thugs into this world, because you don't have enough education, self-esteem and knowledge to guide these new human beings on the right path. And I don't have children, but I say this with the utmost confidence because I knew the people that I was with and the situation I was in at the time. It would have not have been a responsible decision for me to bring another human being on this earth without being strong up here, stable in here, and being tied my camel to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the man you choose to do this with, the power is in your hands, ladies. Stay in control and check up on deen about your rights. So when your family and people are putting poison in your head, you know how to respond.